Hey everybody, Weekly Word episode 158 is forgiveness. Behind me is Peggy, the RV. You see her here. A couple weeks ago, I came by to check on her and found out that the catalytic converter had been cut. Catalytic converter on a gas vehicle basically connects, the engine to the muffler. And on something like Peggy that has a large gas engine, they're pretty sought after. They have platinum within, so I understand. Called and did a police report. Came out and did it, and I learned that there's been a run on these recently. A lot of catalytic converters on these types of vehicles have been heisted or stolen. It got me thinking about a recent journey I had with being vulnerable, and so vulnerable as to decide to forgive. To forgive somebody or to tell somebody you love them, quite frankly, is an act of vulnerability. And what I've found in my journey is that embracing that vulnerability to tell someone you love them, or embracing that vulnerability to tell someone you forgive them, feels really, really good. And I've had a chance to do that here recently. What I noticed too is that not only does it feel good to forgive the person who did that or has done wrong things in the past, I found that in doing so, especially when you know who that person is and you can look them in the eyes and forgive them, that vulnerability actually extends to them the ability for them to be vulnerable. Whether that's in accepting your forgiveness or in asking you for help in return, or maybe just being vulnerable about something they've always wanted to tell you or share you or ask of you. And it's pretty special when I stop today and reflect on the power of forgiveness, just as it applies to vulnerability leads to the ability to forgive, leads to the ability of someone else to be vulnerable, and in turn could lead to them forgiving or doing something that requires them to be vulnerable. And it's a cyclical reaction. It's a cyclical, it's a cycle, which is to say cyclical twice. It's a beautiful cycle. And so I wanted to document Weekly Word 158 today as I sit and wait for the tow truck to take Peggy away to have her fixed. To not talk about the fact that somebody stole the catalytic converter, but to talk about the fact that in my heart I forgive them for it. I feel like maybe they needed it in that moment for a short-term satisfaction, and I'm just going to extend to them wherever they are my forgiveness and my hope that they can find what they really are looking for in life, which is frankly the ability to be vulnerable and ask somebody to help them vice just taking. Weekly Word 158, a little over 3 minutes. Forgiveness. Thank you.